Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
Every government carries the responsibility of protecting its people. Healthcare, education, public safety, infrastructure, the environment, the future of the next generation. But every year, these responsibilities grow faster than available public resources. The challenge is no longer only economic, it is structural. When citizens cannot clearly see how public resources become public value, trust begins to disappear. And when governments lack transparent and efficient tools, essential public services become more difficult to deliver. The challenge is not only creating more wealth, it is creating more trust. Now imagine a different possibility. A transparent framework where citizens and governments participate together under law, with accountability, independent auditing, and measurable public benefit. At the center of this proposed framework is CashCoin. In this proposed model, each eligible citizen receives an allocation of 1,000 cash coins. Each cash coin is presented with a fixed internal value of 1,000 euros. The presented total value therefore becomes 1 million euros. Governments and private companies are invited to formally join the Cash Foundation at cashfoundation.at. 100 coins is given to the government national treasury of the individual participating and registering and accepting the cash coin. Citizen allocation remains at 1,000 cash coins. In addition, governments can request cash coin for infrastructure and national projects, which will be granted on approval. There is no hidden taxation. It is a transparent public allocation established by law and public agreement. Public value is measured by what citizens receive: healthcare, education, safe infrastructure, scientific research, environmental restoration, technology, opportunity, human dignity. A transparent digital treasury allows citizens to understand how public resources are being used, how much entered, where it was approved, how much was released, who completed the work, and who independently verified the result. Transparency creates confidence. Confidence strengthens society. The future is not built by governments alone. It is not built by citizens alone. It is built when responsibility, technology, law, and trust work together. Participation creates connection. Connection creates cooperation. Through the peace game, people around the world may contribute to a shared digital ecosystem. Verified participation may become eligible to receive cash coin. This is not competition, it is cooperation. It is participation, it is contribution. Participants who actively take part in the global network system will be eligible to receive 30 cash coins each year. The One Nation network device allows individuals and institutions to participate in expanding the global infrastructure. Verified network operators may become eligible to receive annual cash coin rewards. The network grows because people participate, not because they speculate. Future annual activity income may be taxed according to national law. Every participating country may establish its own fair taxation policy. The objective is fairness, transparency, and sustainable public services. The initial public allocation and annual taxation remain separate. The same income is never counted twice. In participating countries, citizens may be permitted to pay approved public obligations using cash coin. Every transaction is secure, verified, recorded, auditable. Technology supports public administration. It does not replace the rule of law. Governments entering formal agreements may use cash coin within approved international cooperation. Medical equipment, food, technology, scientific services, infrastructure. Digital settlement occurs only after verified delivery. Transparency protects both sides. When disaster strikes, transparent public resources may respond faster. Every emergency allocation should remain traceable, audited, and accountable, helping people when they need it most. When citizens participate, when governments remain transparent, when technology serves humanity, a stronger society begins to emerge. Trust, participation, responsibility, knowledge. A stronger society is not built only by punishment. It is built through opportunity, education, healthcare, community, employment, and hope. When people have access to opportunity, many of the conditions that contribute to crime can begin to decline. The greatest investment any nation can make is education. A knowledgeable society creates a stronger economy, better government, and a more peaceful future. Technology has value only when it improves human life. It should reduce suffering, protect the environment, expand knowledge, and help humanity move forward together. The future belongs to those who protect the planet while building it. Environmental restoration is an investment in future generations. Trust grows when governments remain transparent, when every public project can be verified, when every citizen can see results. The future cannot be built by governments alone. It cannot be built by citizens alone. It is built together. Responsibility, knowledge, trust, cooperation. United under the Cash Foundation and Cash Coin, governments and individuals stand mutually accountable, working as one society to build a transparent, peaceful, and sustainable future. Different nations, different cultures, different languages, but one shared future. One nation, one planet, one race. When humanity is finally free to think beyond survival, the human soul may begin to elevate. A peaceful civilization does not only build better cities, it builds better human beings. Knowledge, compassion, responsibility, and wisdom become humanity's greatest achievements. The next great journey of humanity is not only across the earth, it is toward understanding, toward existence, toward creation, toward the infinite universe. When knowledge and peace walk together, humanity can carry not only technology, but consciousness itself into the stars. Cash Coin, a proposed framework where people and governments may work together to build a transparent, peaceful, scientific, and sustainable future. The future is not something we inherit. It is something we choose to build.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 654th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, August 6th, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Kfsii Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond. I'll be host once again in this weekly series of workshops. And once again, of course, we're joined with Mr. Mayran Kesh of the Kfsii Foundation, who will guide us through today's information and teachings. Please go ahead, Mr. Kesh.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good day to you. As usual, whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers from Kfsii Foundation Spaceship Institute, we welcome you back. We're going to divert a little bit in the first 5 or 10 minutes of teaching of today to bring out a very important information to all knowledge seekers that will bring everything we said to the next step, and then we go back to teaching. As you heard in the intro, the introduction of Kfsii Foundation to governments and collaboration, many of you have received a gift on my birthday on Sunday, as you wish me a beautiful birthday date last week. I returned your love and your kindness with offering all you knowledge seekers. Many of you have already received the email, and many of you will receive more of it in the coming days, as a gift of my birthday to all of you. In this message, we ask you first to sign into the Kfsii Foundation Association in Austria. That makes you eligible to receive the coin. If you haven't registered into the Kfsii Foundation Austria Association, we cannot give you the coin. We have sorted, and we are sorting the situation that many of you cannot pay to become a member, to make it in a way available for those who cannot, due to like governments or place where you are and the facility doesn't exist, like in Africa and some Asian countries and some South American countries, that you don't need to pay to be registered. We are facilitating that. Hopefully should be cleared that you can register for the association. And once you register for the association, you go into the game, and then in the game you send us your, not a cash coin, not the CC coin, but KC coin, Kfsii coin, your account number. Please send us the Q code. Don't send me the digit, because it takes a long time to put your digits in. And we send you a gift. The first gift is, in a way, 10 coins to each one of you who goes through the process and does. But as we said, you heard in the beginning, the tape of the intro today, you have to send us which authority, which government, and what is your tax number to the government. You all were pay taxes, you have a social security, you have a tax association, somewhere you pay taxes to your government. You have to provide us with that tax number. In that process, we send a message to your government, to tax office where you pay, that on you registering for the coin, your government has become entitled to receive 100 coin, 100,000 for your registration. Which means they can accept the coin and be registered by the Kfsii Association. We tell them the procedure they have to follow. And if, let's say, 50 of you, 20 of you are from, let's say, England or China or whatever, your government receives literally 2 million euro in coins. This brings the acceptance in. Once they accept to receive the coins, it brings the collaboration between you and your government, and you declare your coin you received to your government. But as long as you don't spend the coin, you don't pay taxes on it. You can keep it in your wallet. And this was the purpose we sent this out. We need you to give us your tax registration, and where you pay to, that we get in touch with your government, with your tax office, and say, we have such a person who is registered with us, and as part of our promise, we make available in the next 10 years 10 coins per year for this person who has registered, and they'll be receiving 30 coins a year. And the 10 coins you receive this year and the request we send to you does not count as part of the 30 coins. So this year, you will receive the 30 coins in association, around maybe 2.5, or 3 coins per month to cover it. We don't release all 30 coins in one go. We release to you on a systematic way. The system will be set up in the background that on a given time, randomly, we don't make you addict to wait for the first of the month to then play games the way people do with their lives. Once a month, you receive allocation that it covers you with 30 coins a year. When you spend this coin, you transfer how much you spend the coin and what you did with it, and become your income. You declare it. If they ask you to pay tax, maybe 20%, 10%, you pay back. The rest of the coin you keep. At the same time, the Keshe Foundation store, which hopefully open in the next few days, and gradually in the next few weeks, you will see a campaign option on the coin. Part of the products or some of the products can be fully, or services can be fully paid with a coin into the Keshe coin section of the game. Keshe Foundation will open its own account on the game, and you pay to that. And then the people responsible on the system in the background check what you paid, or partially is a coin, partially is payment. And the same goes with the government. We offer services to the government that they can pay with the coins they receive from you, or on your behalf when you registered. So this week is important to us. Many of you just sent us the number of your KC account. Please send us QR code. It's easier for us to handle. It's there on the site. And secondly, provide us with the authorities and your tax number, that we can send a message to the authorities. They're entitled to 100,000 for registration in the next 10 years. And if 1,000 people register and the government receives 10,000 per person this year, is a lot of money. Gradually, as the systems and technologies become available, our services becomes available to the governments, which means they want to open a hospital, they want to use our technology, they don't need to go and find budget in their cash accounts of the government. They can pay us with our coins. And these coins will be used again in the system to, in a way, pay back to you and run the services. So collaborate with us. You register. If you have not registered with the association in Austria, we cannot release your coin. You have to tell us you have signed, and the references will be checked. You become entitled for the cash coin, and at the same time, you have to provide us your tax detail and the authorities you pay to, references and whatever. And then we start a process, collaboration between the governments, you registering, and the beginning of the Keshe coin become international structure in the worldwide structure of the Keshe Foundation. If we receive 1,000 members registration from you, from the invitations we sent you, then if, let's say, 50, 100 of you from the United States, we inform the United States Treasury or the state you are in that they're entitled to this 100,000 per registration over the next 10 years. So you can see how it escalates into 10 million, hundreds of millions for government, especially third world nations. We negotiate between countries. We have already started that they accept Keshe coin in partial payment for services or full services. Systems like water cleanup, systems like using Keshe Foundation internet system for medical application. We can do this because we have the power to do it. The technology is getting set up. This week, in the new website reopening, you will see a list of jobs which we are offering for the research centers in China. Expertise and the field of expertise we need. If you have, contact us back, and then we structure your interview, understanding you can, and moving you into Chinese Research Center to start working from 1st of January or first month of January, February of next year. We have moved into directly what we promised, and the cash coin has become the backbone of the work. Please follow. Many of you have received the offer, the gift of the coin. Now you know it's 10 coins, but you need to give us feedback that we can allocate. You have to register with the association that makes you eligible to use the coin. It's an internal coin. And then we get your governments to sign into the Keshe Foundation Association the same, that they can use the allocation and claim the 100,000 per individual registered. Remember one thing. Once you sign yourself in this system, you can sign your wife, your daughters, your children, your grandchildren with their authorization into the system. And they start receiving the 30 coin, 10 coin, 20 coin, 50 coin, your parents, your grandparents. At this moment of time, it might not be able for you to value much, but in the coming time, as we connect the cash coin to stock market valuation of the Keshe Foundation, organizations owned in Market Corporation and in Shanghai Corporation, and in connection to production of materials, rare earth materials which you produce, it gains value. It's very much like when the Bitcoin came in, a lot of people dug it and they put it away and they forgot about it, and now that it's gained values of 50, 60, 100,000, they're all looking for it. Now, you're in the same position. Claim it, store it. This year, you might be able to spend 1,000 of it, next year 10,000 of it, and then gradually build up the situation. And this is for your benefit, your family benefit. So you increase, but every member of your family has to register with the Keshe Foundation Association. Your parents, for the first time, as I said, on the Keshe Foundation store opening, you get access to the Chinese website of the Keshe Foundation gradually in the next few weeks. You can buy a product directly from Chinese side. We have many knowledge seekers which produce products, and they become resellers of the Keshe Foundation. You can ask our team to connect your shop to our shop, and we arrange services that in that place, part of your products can be in a way paid by cash coin, and we back you to do it. You have companies who can benefit by the cash coin. Register your companies again. You work for associations. Register yourself, that we can connect your companies into cash coin, and you can ask your staff to register for a cash coin. Follow the same system. We have to have them to register at the association, that they're part of the Keshe Foundation structure. We cannot give coins to people who have not registered. And secondly, we need to know which authorities your company, your loved ones, your institute works that claims the coin, that we pay directly within a few weeks or whatever the coins to the authorities. It's their treasury, and we follow it, how they spend it, who they spend it with, and it doesn't get coupled up because everything is transparent. I thank you for being with us, supporting us, and now we entered what we promised. Your registration with what we gifted you brings your government, your nation, as part of the Keshe Foundation to claim, to bring the structure in, that we can move to the next step. I thank you for all your support for past years. And now we entered working as one nation, one planet, one race. Thank you very much. Going back into the structure of the teaching of the past months and weeks. We have understood that we work within the structure of our body. We receive fields, we receive energy from the space. We convert this energy into many things in our body. Some, in conjunction with the spirit of the man, changes to matter structure of the man. Your muscle tissue, your limbs, your bones. But one thing is important for us to understand deeper. As we said, and as we all understood, that every human body has a central energy control. We call it the soul. We call it the soul of the man. In a way, the energy center. We always considered our brain to be the center of the control, but this is the physical control. The energy control, which connects us to the universe, comes within the center of that one, and that is our soul. In a way, our soul is the center of the planet, as we see on Earth, and then the layers on top of it is magma, and the surface, and the rest of it. But in essence, the soul in the center is the same as the soul of a star, soul of the galaxy, the central center energy, and the rest is built on it. In the galaxies, we see more and more stars on the fringes getting created. They again go back to the center and they do the same. We see this with the operation of the Earth, with its materials, the rain going up and falling back. But in a way, it's the energy from the center which creates this motion. So it's the same with the brain of the man. The soul of the man is in the center, central energy. And the brain of the man and the body of the man in interaction with the physical condition of the earth, it creates us, as you see when you put two magnets together, there's a field flow between each other and it's got a tail to get to the other one. That pull of the fields, the separation you see is the same as our legs now, because the other magnet is the center of the earth and we are connected it, and as our field of our soul connects to it, it stretches down to it, creates the body of the man, how far you are from it. So we understand this principle, and now we understand that the structure of the physicality of the body of the man, as we see even on the screen, there is in the center of the brain. I can use this very nicely actually. You see your brain, your soul sits somewhere I just marked. And the soul of the planet is somewhere down here. So as it gets pulled, it creates your shape. If it wasn't there, your soul stays on its own and it has no connection and it has no interaction. So what is important for us to understand this process? And then we understand further that if you have this energy center, which interaction of its field with the field of the earth and the inertia of the material beneath us creates the shape of the man, then this energy center, what we call the soul of the man, has, as we understood, the same structure in every cell of the man. Every cell of the man has a soul, has a center. And how it's positioned dictates what it makes the shape of. The position of the soul of the man on the top in the center of the brain and in interaction with the inertia and the central gravitational force of the earth pulls the fields and in interaction with the universal energy makes the body of the man. So if you understood this, you understand every soul, every cell has a soul, and interaction of that soul in the environment creates the shape of the kidney, creates the shape of the liver, it creates the shape of the lung of the man. And once we understand this, we come to another point, which is the most important thing all you as knowledge seekers we've been trying to achieve, to transmute. So you have to learn, if you create or connect to a field somewhere in a, what we call, somehow my screen has, okay, I'll go back to it again. If you place the, let's say, the soul of the position you want to go to on this side, then all you need to do is to transmute imbalance to that point. You change the gravitational magnetic field of the earth to create you the long body of the man in reaction to it, to another position. If you understand this, it gives you an amazing power. How you detach yourself from connection to this earthly, what we call gravitational magnetic fields, that now it makes your soul free, it makes your central energy free and can go to any dimension. This is what we do when we die. We cut off the fields which are connected to the inertia and the gravitational magnetic field of the earth. That's all we do. When you've done that, your body gets ready to do that separation, then the energy, what we call the soul of the man, is free. That's what death is. Our body gathers enough energy to reverse what we call anti-gravity for our soul. That's what death is. There is no other meaning to it, because then we have no connection with it. We have chosen the same word again, different words for the same thing. We are searching to create a flying machine. We are searching to build the system we call anti-gravity, to separate us from, to create a distance from us, to detach us that we can fly without connecting to the planet, without this gravitational field. This is what our body does. We fuel our reactors, we build the field that the system can interact with the field of the earth and moves away, become detached from it. This is what life is, our life, our cycle of life, with eating food, with killing all these animals, we're using 80% of the field of the universe is to pop up the energy that the soul can be detached, take off. We call it anti-gravity system. The soul of the man has no connection to the physicality of this earth, and you transmute. We know how to do this, and we are good at doing this with what we do with our body. We go to sleep and we create that field of separation just about. We are just the early learners practicing for 60, 70, 80 years, that when I take off what I do, but I still keep an anchor to my physicality. I've said many times, if you knew how beautiful the universe is, if you knew what freedom is given to man to transmute, all of you would have committed suicide. The reason suicide is forbidden to mankind is that the body has not matured enough to find its place in the space. It's just sending a man with one leg out to do a marathon race for a lifetime of the energy of the soul of the man. You cannot send a partially part-made finished goods for somebody to use it and expect to function. This is the same. This is why we forbid suicide. Because the soul will go in with one limb, two limbs missing. Those who are born and die, that they have reached that point during the womb of the mother, because the cycle of life doesn't start from the point you come out of the womb. It's started from the minute your soul is created within the womb. The cycle of the receiving the energies of the universe to become detached from the field of the earth is already established within the womb of the mother. We cry that they had an unborn child or the child born after. It's the beauty of the life. The soul has matured, detached from this position. You suffer for 80 years, 100 years, and you pay more to be here, more to delay that separation, that takeoff which you yearn for all your life. You go and you pay to the mosque, you go and pay to the rabbi to free yourself, to elevate yourself. You become charitable that I get a better position, but you don't understand your cycle of life is connected to how you detach yourself from the dimension of physicality of the soul of this planet. that makes you free to fly. You don't need to die to transmute. You do that every night you sleep. The minute the system kicks in, the energy balance between the soul of physicality and the soul of the man balances itself. The soul is value. You hold on to the field. On this side, I come back. Now we understand the process of the creation. Now we have to understand how to create that detachment, which I keep on talking about, to the field of this planet. But there is a game you can play. You cannot commit suicide and release the soul, because the soul is connected to the soul of the cells of the body of the man. You create a field that expands, and the physicality is enveloped by the field of the soul. Because when you sleep, the soul goes on one track, does not take the physicality with it, because it cannot envelope it to take it with. If you can create a field that envelopes the whole of the physicality, you can travel with the speed of light through the time. Time of the field, so this is instantaneous. Now you understand more why we teach this way, why we bring the knowledge to man on the way that you understand step by step. As part of what I just explained previously with the coins, when your government gets with us, they receive a coin, they can use the coin for free education of the new knowledge to their students. Now we come into teaching how the soul of the man, through what we call the funds we made available to your government, to understand how gradually man walks away as a nation from killing, and he moves into the dimension of the world of the energy, magnetic fields, and everything else. If you're a nuclear physicist like me, and you have studied the structure of the atomic structure, nuclear structure, magnetic field structure, they tell you one piece of rubbish, which is fact rubbish, but they don't tell you the others which haven't understood. In the world of physics today, this is what I threw at my professors and people who talked to me when I was a early 20s and teenager, and nobody could answer me. And I explained this by showing it in the nuclear reactors, Queen Mary College, to my professor, and he said, "Mehran, walk away. You know too much. We have no answer." And after 40 years, I put the same question to you knowledge seekers. And you understand how much you've been, not misguided, but never understood. The world of the creation works on the matter state. And our scientists tell us one thing. If you go to -273 degrees, absolute zero, everything stops. Yes, correct. But they don't tell you something. Magnetic fields carries on. You cannot freeze magnetic fields. The whole universe has places below -100 and 270 degrees. Now you understand where the knowledge has been misplaced. And this is where you work with the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation, cosmic ray technology, plasma technology, and you have answer for the other half. You go through all the literatures. You go through all technologies of man which has gone up to now. You go to fields in the center of the reactors. We see now China is building a temperature of hundreds of thousands of degrees like the center of the sun to give you a fusion and a free energy, which is still, again, magnetic fields. The same when the scientists tell us at -270 degrees, nothing moves. Physically, everything stops. Yes, matter stops. Magnetic field does not. World of creation feeds you even at -273. World of creation still feeds you at 100,000 degrees, billions of degrees, because magnetic fields are never touched by temperature, by pressure. Life exists in the bottom of the oceans, hundreds of thousands of meters below, because those animals don't have the physical body. is a Gans body and is magnetic field and interacts with the fields of it. Does not need light, does not need pressure, does not need anything else. This is part of the world of physics which has never been explained. And this is the battle I had with the world of the science for a long time. You tell us everything stops, all motion stops at minus 273. But magnetic fields doesn't stop. Your soul does not stop working. Magnetic field, the ganses are temperature independent. They work without interaction of the fields. It does not matter in the energy field and not in the matter state of manifestation. Now you understand where we are going for and what we are trying to explain to you. Your soul can take its place on the separation from the soul of the man, or you decide, I want to go and see what's in the center of the earth through your soul, because it has temperature, doesn't affect it. You can go into the deepest oceans, on the highest, deepest pressures, and the most frozen places in the universe. Your soul still exists, because physicality has a dimension of the restriction of its inertia, its field matter state. Once you become educated how to expand your soul and embed your body within it, you can take your physicality for a tour of the center of the earth, because the eyes shall see, as is the soul transparent from inside. And then I've been there, I went into the ocean, I went into the center of the earth. Of course, it means you have managed to embed the soul of physicality inside, with the physicality inside the soul of the man. Now you understand why we are taking you this way, why every week, step by step, we're peeling the knowledge of the man to get to the center, to his creator, to understand the ethos of Mitra. Every diversion, talk good, think good, act good, diverts you from that position. If you go back to the history of Iran, the biggest crime ever, today they hang people for killing. The biggest crime in the culture of Iran has been lying. Bigger crime than killing. Till the Muslims got their way into Iran and they made the killing as a way of living. Because when you lie, you create a field that diverts. It's just little pushing your soul away from the direction to reach the creator, position to the creator. It's that little jet fires to divert your aircraft or your soul in its path to its creator. Now you understand. To lie, you need to create a field, and that field interacts with the soul, and the soul has to move away from it, the physicality and everything else. Now you see how things are connected to each other. If and once we understand these nitty-gritties, these questions which is burning in the knowledge of the man for centuries, then you understand how we can answer it now that we are opening the knowledge of the creation. Next time somebody tells you everything stops at minus 273, you say, no, it doesn't. Matter state does, but the fields exist, and my soul is that field, has no matter state. Then you understand man can reach anywhere in the universe through the dimension of his soul. Transmutation is not a dream. Transmutation is a reality that you do every night, and then you deny it because you never understood it. Now you understand it. Try to see if you can move the physicality. You have to be detached from the fields of this planet, that you can embed the fields of the motion and emotion of the physicality inside it. Then you find magna positioning of the soul in respect to the soul of the planet, while the body is embedded within it. Today's teaching is so in depth, it brings and it has brought you new knowledge. Understand how to use it and bring it in conjunction with the rest of what we have taught you in the past, and see how quickly you as knowledge seekers will pass the understanding of the present science and you become the true travelers. And then the most interesting thing is, as we go back to what has been said in respect to the knowledge of the man, you'll find out you can travel the moon, the Mars, the other galaxies instantaneously, and you don't need to do as it was in the Star Wars, 9 and 6 and whatever else, to go and cross the universe in 1 million years, in 1 year, and the rest of it. You can reach the corners of the universe. You can reach the heart of the Creator in seconds that you cannot even count, millionth of a second. Man puts restriction on the speed because, again, he has expanded his knowledge a little bit. He can accept that much, but he cannot go further. Up to recently, planet Earth and universe was 4.5 billion. In the teaching, I explained this impossibility. And now we see in the past year or two, science, listens to the Keshe Foundation, has changed the direction. Now the universe is 13 billion. The universe is much, 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 much older than 13 billion. Then you understand you can carry the soul of the Creator and be as young as him, because there's no time. Time doesn't exist. It's only man who's got busy with the rotation of this planet and the age of it, which has created for himself. The soul is always as young as the day he was born. And it has the same systems as you have in your body. You have a kidney, you have a liver, you store energy, you take energy, you clear energy. The soul has the same system. It has a system which gathers the liquid, gathers the surplus energy. It has a system which creates as a storage and the rest. When you want to see the function of your soul, how it is, it's not just a ball of energy. Look at the solar system. It has a center. It has planets which capture the outer boundary things. We call it Jupiter and Saturn. And then we have the Earth, and which confirms the existence. So you see your soul. And they all work together, and they all function in some one way or another to create their position. Even your soul, being a ball of energy, has the same system functionality, but in energy level, that in a matter state. It has kidney, it clears materials, doesn't need. It takes energy from outside. Our solar system doesn't get all its energy from the center. Where do you think all these materials come in? All the energy is coming from the galaxies and from the universe into us. It just goes, touches everything else except our system? No. The same as you and me take 80% of our energy from our environment. It's the same thing with our solar system. It takes, regurgitates its own material, planets, meteorites and the rest, but it takes energy from outside because they dictate how they go. If one day mankind sits outside and look at the planet Earth magnetic field and look at the magnetic field of our solar system, you see it is like a wobbly jelly. It's not the way they tell you, because depends which star, which galaxy our planet and our galaxy is interacting with, and we get woofed. The way the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth drags the energy of the soul of the man and creates the physicality of the man, the same thing happens to our solar system. The same thing happens to our Earth. There is no exception. If the soul of the man created the physicality of the man by interacting its fields with the field of inertia of the planet Earth, the same shape exists between our solar system and the central field of the galaxy? Are we part of the cell of the kidney of the solar system or this galaxy? That's why we see, they tell us there are a cluster of stars which behave that way. That cluster is a kidney. That cluster is a heart of the system. That cluster is one of the cells of the kidney because it has to be there because it absorbs energies, or vitamin C, which is, or calcium, which is too much in the blood of the universe. There is no difference in knowledge. It's only man who has made restriction in understanding the totality of the creation. I made man in the image of myself. If man has a kidney, if man has a system to filter out what is being used, if the man needs a heartbeat that it can circulate the field of the, what we call energy of the universe around, if the man needs a digestion system, if the man needs a lung to breathe in the environment exists, so the same functionalities within the soul of the man, and the same functionalities within the structure of the creator of the man. Now you understand. You have to take this shackle of restriction because they tell you, and look beyond, and then you will see what we see as teachers. You become the teacher of your own soul. You become the teacher of your own understanding of the world of the creation. We are not here to make profit out of ourselves to become messengers. And we are not here to make profit to live in the luxuries of the world of the universe. I made man in the image of myself. What is within me is within what I have created. Intelligence, justice, love. And that's what is the essence of me as the creator. Now you understood more today about yourself and what and how you attach yourself to this planet and how you are connected to the field of the universe. Try to understand how you can bring a balance and justice between your soul and your soul of physicality and your physicality. You'll travel the span of universe in time that no man needs a walk 10, 20 or billions of years. Instantaneously, you reach the heart of the Creator. We go for a break and we come back. And we try to understand more about our own world of creation in the future and as time comes. Rick, would you take us for a break and we come back?
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. All right. As mentioned, we will have a break and we'll have a review and summary of the last knowledge, 653rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop, and through the AI version. And after that, we'll have an opportunity to ask questions of Mr. Kesh, either verbally in the Zoom. You can raise your virtual hand and we can allow your microphone to open, or you can post questions in the Zoom chat or the Zoom Q&A or in the YouTube chat. Okay, this video is called Universal Blueprint. And it's from the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop.